Look here! Look, listen! Appearing offline does not fucking stop it, so stop giving fucking advice you know nothing about. I'm banning anybody trying to give me advice. Real talk.
In this video, I'm going to be talking about Jordy Jordan, aka Wings of Redemption, and how he's managed to become so infamous on the internet and the unfortunate situation that he's gotten himself into recently. But before I get into that, I want to talk about his career online and share some of the clips that got him to where he is today so you can get an idea of what kind of person he is. Wings of Redemption started making Call of Duty commentary videos back in 2009. From the conception of his YouTube channel, he was no stranger to controversy. He utilized a playstyle known as camping, where you try to control one area of the map and wait for enemies to come to you. This playstyle was looked down upon because you can't play the objective very effectively. He would often treat his teammates poorly if they weren't playing up to his standards. Wings became known to get angry and complain about different aspects of the game that he didn't like in his videos. But with that being said, Wings truly was a pioneer in the Call of Duty commentary space. Back then, there were only a handful of people doing it, and he made high quality videos on a consistent basis. By today's standards, his videos would be considered low quality, but at the time, he was one of the premier Call of Duty content creators, and his channel was growing rapidly. Not long after he started making commentary videos, he started making videos where he showed his face and it was revealed that he was overweight. It doesn't matter what it's about, whether it's about his playstyle, his weight, or just trolls trying to get a reaction out of him, Wings has never been able to just ignore the hate, and this would become one of the biggest contributing factors to his popularity on the internet. In 2010, Wings started a podcast called Painkiller Already, alongside his co-hosts Woody's Gamertag and FPS Kyle, also known as FPS Russia. This is the point where Wings really started to develop a reputation for making some pretty outlandish statements and just generally having an odd view of the world. Painkiller Already started out as a gaming podcast, but they've always incorporated comedy elements into it. They often punch up jokes or make ridiculous statements for the entertainment value. But with Wings, it was a little bit different. You can tell that Wings really does view the world through a different lens. This is likely due to some mental issues that he has. He's bipolar, and as far as I know, he's been suffering with depression since the dawn of time. And this has caused him to live a pretty sheltered life, not getting much social interaction outside of online video games, and very rarely leaving his hometown of Conway, South Carolina.
Like, what do you do about your old friends from before YouTube? Do you still play?
I deleted them.
Of course you did. Why did you delete them?
I did. Because, well, first off, they didn't acknowledge how I was the best player in the group. So,
oh my
I'm going to have it that. So I had to remind them how I carried the game battles team in World at War. And I had to remind them how I'm always at the top of the list, and then they got mad about that.
What's the matter with you and this need for acknowledgement? Did your mom not love you enough? Like,
what was it? What was the website you were talking about, Wings?
F150forum.com.
They're down, baby. So are you sure that you didn't do anything, Wings? Because, like, when I hear, oh, they banned me for nothing.
I gave a guy some advice, and they technically didn't like it. And I feel like I deserve at least a warning before a ban.
Did that advice involve calling him stupid or anything?
No. It had nothing to do with
Wait a minute, Wayne. Sometimes you're honest. I didn't say anything. It is to you, but sometimes you come off a little harsh to some people.
But, like, for example, like this guy. Keep in mind that I'm a donating member to this site. I've been a member of this site for 3 years, and I had no previous track history record of warnings or banishment issues. All right, this guy goes, well, I bought an F-150 and my job fell through, and I'm having trouble keeping the payments up. I'm currently upside down on the truck. He bought a truck and he lost his job like 2 or 3 months later. So I go, here's what you do: you lose a key. You go to the Ford dealership, buy another key, and you give that key you lost to your buddy. And let your buddy come 3 or 4 months later down the road, have him take your truck while you're taking your wife or girlfriend or whatever out to dinner. You come out, and your truck's missing. You call the cops, you file a report. Your buddy drives it 2 counties over, puts gasoline all over it, sets it on fire.
God, that's so damn shady, Wings.
Wings, what the hell is wrong with you?
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
It does matter.
Arson, insurance fraud.
You can't.
So
He
wrong.
was in a situation where he needed help out of a truck payment. He was going to go, and nobody wanted to give him the answer. I gave him the answer he needed to hear.
Yeah, he's gonna go to jail.
He's not going to go to jail.
That is not the answer.
You're not, how you going to go to
hear.
jail? How you going to go to jail?
Arson, insurance fraud.
Okay.
Because I just had to shell out $600 to help get Hastro a passport to go to Norway.
600 for a passport? What's up with that?
Flight, travel, renewal
Oh.
fees, hotels.
Passports don't typically include flights. That's the thing.
Well, if you renew it to go overseas, they do. Because you got to renew it in Washington D.C.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
Dude, I had mine done at the local post office.
Yeah, I think
same
Castro
here. I just had mine.
It's nice with Castro. Nice. Castro's in DC right now, like toasting somebody with a champagne glass. Like, thanks,
Well, I
Wing.
ain't giving that kind of cash. I booked this
he
hotel
did.
for him.
He only needed like $100.
He's staying at like a fucking roadhouse. I mean,
Wings, have you ever gotten a passport?
not yet. No, I got to get one.
Let me explain how the
Put it on
process
the wall.
works.
No,
You go-
getting
you
a
go-
passport's easy.
Uh-huh.
To like go to Chicago.
You don't need a
Uh-oh.
passport to go to Chicago.
Why don't you?
You can
Oh
go
my God.
anywhere.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You gotta understand, I've
This is
never
really
left
great.
South Carolina.
Okay, let me help you here. You can travel anywhere in the United States without a passport. You can also go to, I think, Canada and Mexico with just like regular ID, like a driver's license.
Yeah.
But you need a passport to go to countries where they don't have that kind of reciprocal agreement. To go out of the country like that, you go to your local post office to get the passport. So step one, you go to like the drugstore and they take a passport photo of you. And,
Hold up. Somebody banned that kid that called me an absolute moron.
Okay.
Wings would continue on Painkiller Already until he was kicked off in 2014. The other hosts voted him off for a number of different reasons. They felt like he wasn't as dedicated as he should have been. He would often show up late or miss shows completely without a good excuse. His most common excuses would be, I overslept or I was too tired, things of that nature. But the straw that broke the camel's back was they had planned an in-real-life survival trip, and Wings decided that he didn't want to go. But he didn't tell the other hosts until the day before when Kyle actually called him, making sure that he was all set for the trip.
So the day comes, it's time to do this thing. And so I set out on this quite long drive. I'm going to say it's 5.5 hours from where I lived at the time to where we're doing this thing. So if I leave the night before, I'm going to get a motel room in the area 30 minutes from the meetup location. And that way I don't have to drive, early in the morning. I don't want to leave my house at 5 a.m., get there at 10 a.m. and be already just kind of out of it before we begin hiking and surviving and such. So I'm driving in the night before, and I think to myself, hey, let me give old Wings a call, make sure we're all good to go here, because it's Wings. Call him up, say, hey, man, and get ready to do this thing. I'm driving in now, about 3 hours from the place. What are you up to? You could leave, if you left right now, you'd be here around 11, and you could share this motel room with me. I could get a room with 2 beds or something. He's like, I'm not going. I'm like, what? What do you mean? I'm not coming. When were you going to tell me? I'm telling you right now. Oh, what the? So I call. I text Woody. I'm like, he's not fucking going. He's not fucking going. And so Woody gets on the phone with him. Woody tries to talk, and I'm thinking like Woody's going to talk him into this. I'm still driving with this idea. Woody will talk him into this. Woody's a great motivational speaker when he needs to be, and I'm sure Woody
There's
was
some
filling him with.
compilations of me telling Wings, like, if you want to be an extraordinary person, you have to do extraordinary things.
Be a winner, not a loser. Be a doer, not a don'ter.
Very Henry Rollins-esque, yeah.
Yeah, this sort of talk, and he just doesn't fucking come. He just doesn't fucking come. And it's now it's just me and Woody in the woods. Now it's just kind of weird.
After Wings was kicked off of Painkiller Already, his emotional state got worse than ever. I think it was mainly due to financial issues. Not only did he lose the revenue from Painkiller Already, but his viewership was declining as well. The content that he was making around Call of Duty was becoming formulaic and predictable. He tried doing Let's Plays and making videos unrelated to gaming, but he never found much success. He became less motivated to make YouTube videos, and he was unsure about which direction he should take his career. His mental health got so bad that he publicly threatened suicide multiple times. I'm not going to go too far into that because it's pretty dark. I just mention it to give you an idea of where he was at emotionally. In 2016, Wings decided to transition from YouTube to Twitch because he felt like he could make more money. This decision came with a trade-off. Yes, he did make more money on Twitch, but his mental health was also taxed a lot harder too. Because of the nature of live streams being long-form, unedited content, he could no longer pick and choose what he wanted to upload. This meant that whenever he had a bad game, everyone saw it. Whenever he lost his temper and started raging, everyone saw it. On YouTube, you can choose what you want to upload. You can edit, you can do multiple takes for a video, but you can't do that with a live stream. This, combined with stream snipers and a live chat, is a recipe for disaster for someone with Wings' personality type.
Can you please stop, dude? Honestly, can you stop, Kudzo? Like, why are you doing this to me? Real talk, why? Not gonna happen, buddy. Not gonna happen. You go. Fuck you! Fuck you! Fucking.
We have lost objective Freddy.
I really need to make this fucking money. I really wanted to get this fucking surgery, man. I wanted it so fucking bad. I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man. All I wanted to do was, like, I was fucking lonely. I wanted to just fucking stream and have a good time, maybe have a good game.
YouTube has comments, but that's not the same as a live chat that you're interacting with. His streams would be filled with trolls that were only there to try to get a reaction out of him. This would eventually spawn the troll channels. I'm not sure exactly how many troll channels there were, because a lot of them have since been deleted. Some of them made new channels. Some of them are still around, but they've had most of their videos flagged and taken down due to copyright reasons. But I would guess that there were probably at least 15 different troll channels that were getting a considerable number of views on YouTube. All these troll channels were doing was recording Wings' live streams, then splicing together the parts that made Wings look bad, and there was no shortage of content. If Wings got angry with his viewers, raged at the game, or got emotional, that would all make it into the video, but they would never show the parts that made Wings look good. In this community they formed, it was literally against the rules. You would be ostracized if you made Wings look positive in any way. Even if Wings had a genuinely funny moment on stream that was good content, you weren't allowed to show that. Some of these videos were getting 1 million+ views. These troll channels were making a lot of money just from making this guy look bad. Wings didn't like this. Obviously, I don't think anyone would, but on some level he realized that the troll channels were actually helping him in a way. They were bringing more people to his streams, generating more revenue, but those people weren't supporters. They were just there to watch the train wreck. He once claimed that he had a deal worked out with the troll channels where they gave him half of the revenue from their videos. I'm not sure how true this was. You can't take everything that Wings says at face value, and if it was once true, it's not true anymore.
I heard you say that you were making money off the troll channels.
I am.
That's true?
That is true. Any troll channel you see with advertisement on it is paying me kickback.
So you claim those videos and then you get the money?
No. I have deals worked out with each one of them for different amounts.
Get out. You have deals worked out with them, so they pay you for content?
No, they pay me to not strike them.
That's kind of blackmail-y? I don't have another word for it, dude.
I mean, it's not blackmailing. It's like they're making money. You cut me a little piece of the money because you're using my content. Like, all you're doing is re-editing my content. So, like, I have the power to, like, take your content down. But if you want to work out a deal where you pay me for, like, the rights to use my content, I'm down to let your channel stay up.
Can you name the channels you have deals with?
No, because I don't want to hurt their viewership. Because as soon as I list out the channels that have deals with, the channels that don't have deals with will get more viewership pointed towards there, and it will mess up my income.
All right.
Wings is stuck in this cycle of misery where no matter what he tries to do, there are always people there trying to ruin it just to get a reaction out of him. This has been going on for years, and it continues today. This video isn't meant to be a historical documentary about Wings of Redemption. I just wanted to talk about some of the career-defining moments that got him into the situation that he's in today. If you want to learn more about the story of Wings of Redemption, because there's a lot more to it and it's truly fascinating, then I suggest you go watch Frederick Knutson's Down the Rabbit Hole on Wings of Redemption. This is the best documentary about Wings of Redemption on YouTube. Now that I've given you a summary of Wings' career on the internet, I want to talk about what's been going on recently and why the end of Wings of Redemption's career could be on the horizon. Recently, the trolls have become more aggressive with the tactics they use against him. They've been false flagging all of his content, mostly on the grounds of copyright infringement and hate speech. They've even went as far as to label him a child predator. It seems like they've been trying to take him off the internet completely. And I think the main reason for this is that there's been a crackdown on the Wings of Redemption troll channels. Not by Wings of Redemption himself, but by a man named Jake Lasso. Most of the Wings troll channels have either been taken down completely or have had most of their videos taken down. And because of this, they're no longer very profitable, and not many people are really paying attention to them anymore. So I guess they've decided to just try to cancel Wings altogether. A few months back, there was a period of time where he was having to bounce around between platforms. YouTube, Twitch, and even Facebook Live, because as soon as he would start streaming on one platform, he would quickly get banned and have to move to another. Then he would have to try to appeal these bans, but that's a process that can take days or even weeks. During this period of time, he was essentially without income for over a month. It seems like he's since resolved this issue, for now at least, because he's been streaming on YouTube for the past few weeks without too many issues. But who knows how long that's going to last. The Wings of Redemption trolls are a motivated group of individuals. I'm sure that we haven't seen the last of them. They're always going to find some way to attack Wings. I think Wings has gotten himself into this situation for a couple of different reasons. For one, Wings does have some negative qualities about him. He likes to play the victim. He has a short temper. He's been known to get angry and insult people that he plays games with. He's had trouble accepting responsibility for his actions, and he has told quite a few lies. For example, once he lied about putting a down payment on a weight loss surgery in Mexico. Now, he did eventually go on to get the surgery, but he lied about it initially. He used to tell people that he was FPS Russia before FPS Russia ever showed his face.
72,000 subscribers on my channel. I got 40,000 on FPS Russia. I got 160,000 on the Painkiller Podcast.
I'm not sure what he was thinking on that one. He was literally doing a podcast with FPS Russia at the time. I remember he used to tell people that he was 6'4". You know, the list goes on and on.
Oh God! It's whenever we talk about height, it just reminds me of Wings. that whole kerfuffle.
He said he was 6'4".
I think he might have told us he was 6'6". He told it was back. So this is like way back. This is 12, 14 years ago, maybe even. This is like prime time Wings of Redemption when he's the bad boy of Call of Duty, right? And you know, the only thing you'd ever seen of him was like he had done like a controller review, one of those custom controllers with the pads on the back. Right. They had paid him like $300 to make a video, which was wild to all of us. Like, he's got a sponsor, and it's just his hands, you know. And people were like, "Your hands are kind of small, brother." And he's just like, "I'm 6'4", 325 pounds. I'm a Bubba. and we all kind of took that as fact. You know, the man said he's 6'4", 325. That's what he is. All right. Fucking linebacker. God damn. Why didn't he go pro? Did he play for Clemson? You know, it sounds like he should have. Man, maybe he had a knee injury or something, and now he just plays games because he couldn't go pro or whatever. And then, like, he uploaded a picture like years later, and it's like him standing next to his pickup truck. And we all know how tall pickup trucks are, and it's like the truck's taller than him. And like if you're 6'1" or 6'2", you know that like I'm about as tall as a pickup truck, or like I can see right over the top of a pickup truck. And then this guy is like under the pickup truck, like by that much, and it's just like, ooh, I think we may have miscalculated something here or there. And then Woody and I met him, and like we're both taller. Woody's about 6 feet, and Woody's taller, and you know I'm a good bit taller too, and no, I think he's about 5'11".
The second reason is that he's an easy target, and he gave the trolls exactly what they wanted, which was reactions. But I think at this point, even if he did stop acknowledging the trolls completely, it's too late, because the game isn't to get reactions out of him anymore, it's to cancel him. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, why doesn't he just go get a regular job? But it's not really that simple. He hasn't had a regular job in like 15 years. He's severely overweight, and he doesn't have any marketable job skills. So even if he did get a regular job, it likely wouldn't pay enough to support his family. With that being said, if the trolls keep attacking him the way that they have been recently, he may have no choice but to go find a low-paying or even minimum wage job somewhere. But if he goes that route, then he will likely have to find work that he could do online or out of his area, because I think that the trolls that he's dealing with are literally the type of people that would call around the area that he lives in until they find out where he works, then show his employer what he's done on the internet and get him fired. Wings is in an unfortunate situation. If you go to his stream and look at the amount of viewers that he has watching him, that number doesn't accurately reflect his level of fame. Chances are you've seen something about him somewhere. You might not watch his content or even know his name, but you've probably seen his picture somewhere or heard something about him. He's been on the front page of Reddit multiple times. CNN has done a story about him. The New York Times has done an article about him. This guy is honestly an internet legend, and we may be in the final chapters of his story on the internet. If you liked this video and want to see more content like this, then I would appreciate it if you'd give me a like. It helps me in YouTube's algorithm. Thank you, and have a nice day.